to please contact Purti to go ahead and book your roles. Secondly, I would like to request our EA Director Toastmaster Bhavani to please come up and give us an update on the upcoming annual conference on 28th and 29th of May. Over to you, Bhavani.
Thank you so much, Madam President, Toastmaster Ankita. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests present there. So this time, District 121's annual conference is called Crescendo, which is to be held on 28th and 29th of May at JN Tata Auditorium, Malleshwaram. So the main theme of our conference is that it has been made as the most affordable conference, so that the 33% of our college students, the college community of District 121 can be a part of it. So all those members of MECON who are the college students, please avail this opportunity and be a part of it. And other members, initially we had an early bird offer, but right now it is 2,000 and the numbers are increasing. So I'll be putting up the registration link in the chat box as well as in the WhatsApp group of MECON Communication Club. You people, everybody can join there. And I have two more requests as a part of announcement. We are also looking for sponsors. So if you know anybody who can get in sponsors, please do let us know. And the link for the sponsorship brochure and the slabs will also be shared. Other than this, please ensure that you get +1 member, let it be your friend or an old Toastmaster or someone from your family, and witness the conference there, because we are having it in person in the history of District 121. With this, I request the members in the in-person contest to play the curtain raiser of the Crescendo. We cannot hear the audio. Thank you so much. So if members register, we also get 1 point for Hall of Fame. That's for the club. So let's ensure that we register here. And all those who wants to work with the team of the conference, you can register in as a volunteer. The link of it will also be shared. With that, thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavani, for that update. This is one of the most awaited annual conference that's happening in person after 2 years. There's going to be some really amazing speakers, keynote addresses, and a lot more fun. I request all of you to actively participate in the same and register as soon as possible to avail maximum benefits from the conference. Also, one small little correction that I would like to make. Next week, we are going to be having an education session by DTM Usha Iyengar. So please take note that we will not be having any speech slots next week, but all other roles are open. So we have the TTM, GE, MC, these roles will be open. but speakers will not be available. So request you all to please come and take part in the education session and enlighten yourselves, and also take up roles to have fun in the meeting. With that, I would like to hand over charge to the Sergeant at Arms for the day, Toastmaster Shiva. Over to you.
Can I get a thumbs up from the online audience? Firstly, I'd like to ask every single person in this room and in the online setup to raise your hand. Raise your hand for no reason. Just raise your hand. Keep your hand raised if you took arts after 10th standard. If you took arts after 10th standard. Arts. Thank you. Now, arts in the Indian education system is definitely the road less explored by all of us. And that is the first thing that came to my mind when I heard this theme. A very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Now, some of us did not take arts before because we were not interested. Some of us did not take arts because we were interested, but we did not have the guts to face the society. We did not have the guts to face our parents, and hence we ended up not taking arts. But there was one person who had the guts to travel the road less explored. A soldier of the Indian Navy, Lieutenant Commander Abhilash Tomy. In the year 2012, he achieved a rare feat by becoming the first ever Indian to circumnavigate the globe on a sailboat. He did it all by himself without any external support, without stopping at any landmass. A continuous journey of 23,000 nautical miles. He did it all by himself. And let me tell you, back in 2012, before he did it, only 70 people all over the world had managed to achieve this feat. So definitely it was a road less explored, or you can say the sea less explored. But instead of being afraid or saying that I don't want to take this up, when he was asked by the Indian Navy if he would do this, he gladly took it up. He left from Mumbai and he came back to Mumbai. Imagine the hardships the man would have to face: extreme weather, the sun scorching his skin, storms in the sea. His water source was contaminated. His food source was dwindling. He had lost a lot of weight. Instead of all this, he managed to get back, complete the voyage successfully. And when he got back to Mumbai, the government of India organized a felicitation ceremony for him. And the then president, late Pranab Mukherjee, was giving him a few honors. And the first thing this man, Abhilash Tomy, says is, "Sir, can I go once again?" And when he was asked if why he took up this voyage of going around the globe on a sailboat, he said, "I didn't do it for history or to create any sort of records. I did it just because I wanted a new experience for myself." And he says that he feels like a free man, like he has never felt before. And what we do here, our 9 to 5 jobs, he feels this is slavery. And he has felt the strength that he has never felt before. My fellow Toastmasters, taking the road less explored can be very risky, but it can be extremely rewarding. And you might find something, you might see something, you might do something that humanity has never been able to do before. Speaking about the road less explored, let me introduce someone who has not taken the road to Mekon Communication Club today. She is attending online. She is a qualified ACCA and a qualified chartered accountant, currently working with PwC. Aside from commerce, she has varied interests. She absolutely loves to play the guitar. She enjoys painting, learning new languages, and practicing yoga. The former secretary, associate VPPR, VPM, and VPE of our club, please put your hands together for President Toastmaster Ankita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva, for that heartwarming introduction. Before I begin today's meeting, can I please have the Secretary Toastmaster Bhavani read out the minutes of the previous meeting number 1159? Over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters again. Here is the minutes of meeting number 1159 held on 25th of April 2022 with the theme Break Away from Confining Definitions, and the word of the day was Adorn. The business session started at 6:36 p.m. and was chaired by the presiding officer Toastmaster Spurti. In the business session, the following points were discussed. The VP mentioned that all the roles but one speaker slot are open for the next meeting. All the members were requested to keep the base camp open to provide feedback to the speakers as well as the role takers. The announcement of District 121's annual conference crescendo was made, and the members were encouraged to register for the same. The regular meeting started at 6:37 p.m. Acting Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Sai Snehal Reddy, started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Spurti, who opened the meeting, spoke on the theme, and introduced the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, who in turn spoke on the theme and introduced the following rule takers. Timer, Toastmaster Bhavani, a counter, Distinguished Toastmaster Udanka, Grammarian, Toastmaster Spurti, PP Evaluator, Toastmaster Sai. The prepared speech session had two speakers, Toastmaster Pavani attempting her level 1 project 1 and was evaluated by Toastmaster Arundhati Here. And the second speaker was Toastmaster Shiv Prasad attempting his level 1 project 4 speech and evaluated by Distinguished Toastmaster M.U. Bhatt. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Rashmi and had 9 speakers who were Toastmaster Ujjwal, Toastmaster Zuleika, guest Veeda Badrappa, Pooja Arya, who was a guest, Distinguished Toastmaster Udanka, Sanjana as the guest, Toastmaster Gaurav, Distinguished Toastmaster M.U. Bhatt, Toastmaster Arundhati. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Lalana Murthy, and the winners were the best prepared speaker, Toastmaster Shiv Prasad, the best evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster M.U. Bhatt, best table topic speaker, guest Veera Badrappa, the best role taker, TAPG, Toastmaster Bhavani, MTG, Toastmaster Lalana Murthy. And the president closed the meeting. The presiding officer closed the meeting at 8:34 p.m. With that, thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Ankita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavani. Any changes proposed to the minutes of the meeting? Okay. I shall now consider it as passed, and now I would formally open meeting number 1160. At MECON, we have a practice of making our guests feel absolutely welcome. And since I'm not in the offline audience today, I would request our VP membership, Toastmaster Gaurav, to please come up and invite the guests to introduce themselves.
So there are several guests in the meeting. I'm sorry I would have spoken to you on phone, but I'm not seeing you personally, so I don't know your name. So don't mind. I've seen you the second time at Toastmaster Sanjana. Can you please come here and let us know how you came?
Session as a guest. So I'm just formatting I found out about this club online.
Good evening, friends. My name is Shankar, and that's my son, Abhiram. And it says that life surprises you every turn. And today I never expected to be so surprised, and such pleasant surprise I never expected to be. Started out to come here. The one person who you see behind the screen is one person whom I think of almost every day. That's Dr. Arundhati Hirle. I never expected to see her today. So she is a doctor whom we sort of think of and thank every day of her life, because she delivered my son Abhiram. I don't know if she remembers me. I'm sure she sees hundreds of patients every day. So first, let me express my delight at seeing her. I'll say that first, and of course I'm delighted to be here at Toastmasters. I've been wanting to come here for a very long time, and simply because I wanted some forum where I can meet like-minded people, where I can improve my public speaking skills and generally, have fun. And I brought my son along because I wanted him also to know how this works. And I know that there's a Toastmasters for kids as well. So I wanted to sort of pique his interest in it also, and then sort of see if I can get him off the phone quite early. So he did not wait as long as I did. All right, so thank you.
You're the member. You're the member. Okay. Welcome to the club. Can I have the next place?
I'm Dr. Samantha, and I work in Popular Ladies Academy of Business and I'm here today to announce the public speaking. I'm actually the Muslim and I'm best. I am Shruti. I work for Popular Ladies Academy. I just think no was.
That is it from the offline guest.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. I welcome all the guests to our club. I hope you enjoyed today's meeting and hope to see you more often in our club going forward. A very, very warm good evening to one and all present here, all the fellow Toastmasters and our guests. When I first heard the theme, what obviously came to my mind was Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken. And the two lines that I would like to just quote from that poem: two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that's made all the difference. Well, in a world where everyone wants to reach their zenith of success, taking the road less traveled is quite, I think, a difficult option, right? It's something that we all hold back from doing, and it requires an exhilarating leap of faith. But as the saying goes, if you want something that you have never had, you have to do something that you have never done. And something I've always wanted out of Toastmasters ever since I became a member of this club, this wonderful fraternity of exposure, is basically to improve my public speaking skills and also to get a wide range of exposure. Exposure to people in clubs across India, in different cities and in different cultures. And this dream of mine seemed shattered when the pandemic struck. Unable to move out of my home, speaking in a club of a different state felt very unreasonable. But the very thing that I thought shattered my dreams was the one that made it up. Because of the pandemic, the world became closely connected. And then, out of the blue one day, I just saw a friend's story on Instagram who spoke about how excited she was when she gave a speech at a club in the UK. That is when I realized that maybe I could also get an opportunity to speak in a different country altogether, because after all meetings now were happening online. A few days later, I got in touch with the VPE of a club in Poland. He was very, very happy to give me a speech slot, and that's how I got my ticket to an international exposure through Toastmasters. I absolutely loved interacting with all the people I virtually met that day, and I ensured I visited as many clubs as I could outside India whenever possible. And I religiously took along a few of my friends. I think Sai Snehal was the one person who always accompanied me every club that I went to. And both of us really experienced the kind of difference in the culture around these clubs, the way they spoke, the kind of topics they discussed, the way their meetings were structured. I think this kind of gave us a lot of exposure and opened up our horizons and our vision of Toastmasters in a lot more, in a bigger and a more comprehensive manner. What I drew out of my exposure from going to different clubs was this. Whenever you feel like things aren't going right for you and probably you won't be able to make it and get your way through it, you have to realize that maybe you just haven't connected the dots yet. To connect the dots of today's meeting, we have a confident speaker from our club as a team mod. He is pursuing his mechanical engineering in City Engineering College and is an aspiring wildlife photographer, a very big foodie, and loves to travel. In Toastmasters, his achievements are varied. He has won the Triple Crown Award and is also the youngest DTM. Please help me welcome with a thunderous round of applause, distinguished Toastmaster Udanka, our team mod for the day. Over to you, Udanka.
Thank you for that elaborative introduction, Madam President. Just a small change. I am a student of computer science and not mechanical. Okay. Firstly, I would like to welcome you all to the club meeting. Welcome one and all. Now, let me share you a story which I experienced a couple of days back. One of my friend is getting married in the next couple of days. So as a trend which is going on now, we asked for bachelors. He agreed, we agreed, date was fixed, venue was fixed. And in this particular group, this was my first time organizing something, planning out for that event. It's usually we plan for a half day out or a meetup in some restaurants, but it was first time we all of us are going for a day out, and first time we are doing it. Though we had a couple of day trips, but one day out was the first time for us, and I was the one who was planning for that. I booked a resort after inquiring with 2 3, finalized with talking to my friends. We finalized one. I paid the advance, went there. But when we reached there, we got to know that many activities in that resort was not available on that particular day. We were like, fine. I was expecting my friends to talk to me, but no, they did not. And next, I went, spoke to the management. They reimbursed me the advance. We went to the next resort, which was close by. We had a good day that day. We went, we decorated the hall. We had the bride and bridegroom all enjoying their moments, followed by the activities in the resort, lunch, and everything. Before leaving the resort, an hour ago, we made sure bride and groom played fun activities, followed by having a moment for them. After having their moment, we came to know that even we are having a moment where we are sharing our experiences. The group which I went with was a friendship for more than 8 long years. 8 long years having a group of 15 to 16 members staying with us constantly is an hats off for us, all of us. Now, we were all sitting on the lawn in a semicircle. We started sharing our experience, that day's experience, one by one. Then, one of my member prompted to talk about our experience in the 8 long years journey. Everyone shared their personal problem with us, how we used to solve them, the one-on-one conversation, one-on-two conversation, or one-on-group conversation, how we helped them, how we entertained them, how we surprised them. Everything went on smoothly. Everyone had their moments there. It was an absolute good day for us. While riding back, one thought stuck to me. And that thought is the road less explored in friendship. That one emotion is less experienced in friendship. Any guesses what that emotion is? Any guesses? Anyone in the online audience? Yes. Hatredness. I would not say hatredness. If it was hatredness, we would have been apart by now. So that less experience or the less explored road was anger. A perfect day which started, and the first venue where we located was not proper. No one, even a single person, single of my friend, pointed out to me. Not only on that day, from 8 long years till now, no one has raised their voice on other one. That particular emotion in friendship is let's explode. I would not say not at all explode. Yes, we would have at a point a little anger on us or our friends, but it would stay for very few time. I would say less than us. And in life, we tend to ignore some roads, assuming that we know that road. And one such road is communication and public speaking. To make sure people don't lose that road, a man in the year 1924 started a movement, a Toastmaster movement. Let me explain you why this movement started. When Mr. Ralph C. Smedley saw that people were finding it tough to raise a toast, raising a toast refers to celebrating a moment, celebrating a joy. That's when he realized we need a moment, we need a platform to improve the public speaking. That's how Toastmasters was formed. The club, which the moment which started with a single club, is now across 145 countries with 16,200 plus clubs having a membership strength of 3,64,000 plus members. To have a smooth flow of the meeting, to connect all the dots of the meeting, we have few role takers to help us out. We call them as Tab G team. I won't be going in the same order of Tab G. Let me reshuffle it a bit to just see the road we usually, to come off the road we usually take. Starting off with the PPE Toastmaster Gaurav.
Very good evening, one and all present here. So in each platform, there are few sets of rules and regulations which need to be followed. So in Toastmasters, we request the speakers not to talk about sex, religion, or politics because it's not something which all the members are comfortable listening to. And I request the offline members to please keep your phones on silent or on vibration mode so that it doesn't disturb the speaker while giving his speech. And it comes to the both offline and online members, please do leave the meeting room when there is applause happening so that in between when someone is talking, it might disturb someone. And even for the offline, online audience. And for the online audience, please videos because that's one kind of a motivation for the speaker instead of seeing a blank screen. And when you want to leave the meeting, please do leave a message in the group, in the chat, and do leave the meeting. Thank you, and back to the master.
Thank you, Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator. Up next is the timer, Toastmaster Sai Snehal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudhankar. Managing time is something that's a road less traveled because people find it really difficult to manage time, and that is where my role of timer comes today. As a timer for today, I'll be making note of the time taken by each and every speaker, table topic speaker, and evaluator behind the lecture. There are certain time given to each speaker, evaluator, and the table topic speaker, starting off with a prepared speech where the speech is for 5 to 7 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, I'll be displaying green card, which will be displayed till 6 minutes. And at 6 minutes, I'll be displaying yellow card, which will be displayed up to 7th minute. And 7th minute onwards, up to the end of the speech, I'll be displaying the red card. The same goes to the table topic as well. At the end of 1 minute, I'll be displaying the green card, 1 minute 30 seconds, the yellow card, and at 2 minutes and onwards, I'll be displaying the red card. Coming to the evaluation, which is for 2 to 3 minutes, at the end of 2 minutes, I'll be displaying the green card. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll be displaying the yellow card, and 3 minutes till the end of your evaluation, I'll be displaying the red card. I'll give my report during the general evaluation when called upon by the general evaluation. Thank you and bye.
Thank you, timer Toastmaster Sai Snehal. Moving on with the next role, grammarian Toastmaster Vijay Upendra.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome guests. As a grammarian, I will pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their usage of language. I'll take note of good usages and not so good usage of words and sentences. The word of the day or week is stray, meaning move away aimlessly from a group or from the right course or place. Usage: dog owners are urged not to allow their dogs to stray. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the week. I'll give my report at the end of evaluation session when called upon. Thank you and back to you.
Thank you, grammarian Toastmaster Vijay. Moving on with the last roll taker, our counter Toastmaster Shiva Prasad.
Very good evening once again to my fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the R counter for today, I will be making note of the unnecessary sounds and words used by the speakers throughout the meeting. Sounds may be ahs, and all these other sounds. Words may be and, but, so, or, you know, and I'll be making note of all this, giving my report at the end of the meeting. Back to you.
Thank you, our counter. For the benefits of guests, a typical Toastmaster meeting has 3 sessions. First session, where the members would have prepared prior to the meeting with project manual, which is available in Toastmasters International, known as Pathways. Second session, where a table topic master gives out a topic to a random person, which you need to speak on impromptu. Third, where the entire proceedings will be evaluated. It is named as general evaluation. Without wasting much time, let's get connected to the first doctor. Prepared speeches. The first speaker for today is attempting level 2, project 3. Before I call out the speaker, I would request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Lalana Murthy, to read out the project guidelines.
Good evening. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. All the best to the speaker, and back to you, DTM Udanka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lalana Murthy. When I asked the speaker, what is the road less explored according to you, she sent me a short, sweet message saying, when we deny the opportunity, that is the road less taken. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Vaishnavi, attempting level 2 project 3 with the speech title Guide for Life. Guide for Life, Toastmaster Vaishnavi.
Good evening, fellow. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Firstly, can I get a heads up that I'm audible? When life becomes hard, then we need helping hands around us. And according to me, these helping hands are guide for life. Those guides for life who help us in answering for a question paper which doesn't have syllabus. Me, a person who prepares for an exam days before and still manages to just pass. And just imagine giving surprise tests by life where syllabus is not mentioned. I would definitely flunk without these helping hands. And I have a lot of mentors in my life, but there were very few of them who made a mark, who taught me the value of life and lessons of life. Just like how every different problem requires different solution. Every different problem requires different mentors. The same way, I divide my speech into two parts. The two most important parts of my life. One, my pre-teenage years, and two, my teenage years, because I have just not entered the adulthood yet. In my pre-teenage years, as I grew from being a toddler to a child, I remember vividly holding few hands. But out of all these few hands, there was one hand which held me tight. Held me so tight that the time when I was just an average student in school and was trying to just pass my subjects and did not bother in the process of learning. I remember my mom, who had put me to Kumarins. I had got my admission into this school. I was very excited, but just weeks before I entered this campus, my mom planned to shift schools just for the sake of one language, one subject, which was Sanskrit. And for that reason, I came to a whole different school. And when the time came for me to choose and learn the subject, this was the most hated subject. I hated it so much that I was stubborn enough to actually flunk the subject unnecessarily. And along with this, there were 3 consecutive teachers who were changed for Sanskrit. This surely added as a catalyst of me not liking the subject. As the time passed, my mom lost hope on me, and so did I on myself. And I knew, me being the stubborn self of myself, me being a stubborn person, and lost the confidence, and surely believed that this is not my cup of tea. That's when this sir entered. Narsimaya sir, my Sanskrit teacher. He did not teach us Sanskrit. All the students who were sitting did not even know the alphabets, though within 6 months, we needed to give our board exam of ICC 10. And we knew we couldn't write the whole paper in English and come back. So our school was preparing us to give one of the best teachers. When he entered, he taught us not how to score marks, but how to love the subject. He taught us how to engage in learning and establish the curiosity to learn. A person from failing a subject and from a person from failing a subject, I became a person who scored flying colors of 89. No, not a great marks for a person who failed. It is definitely a scoring high marks. When this happened, the very first thing I did was visiting my Sanskrit teacher. And when I told him, you were the reason who taught me to love the subject. And within 3 months, I went from failing the subject to actually scoring high marks. And that's when he gave me this tip. Always remember that marks on these sheets tell you just how much you can remember in your unconscious mind. But what really matters is how curious are you in learning the subject. Your curiosity will take you a long way, and that's what you need. He taught me how to be confident. He gave me the ray of hope. He told me that I have a gift and I need to use it wisely. He taught me the lessons of life before teaching me what is life. He was one of those few hands who was a beautiful mentor for me. And when I entered my teenage years, of course, there was COVID going on. And I never met any teachers nor friends. I graduated from an online school and also started through an online school. But there were few mentors whom I met during this process. I started attending Toastmasters meeting because of my mom. And that's when I met Toastmaster Ankita. Immediately after 3 meetings, she asked me, whom do you want as a mentor? And I told her, I had no idea where am I. So why don't you tell me who would be a great mentor for me? And then Toastmaster Ankita told, is it okay if I am your mentor? And I think that was the best yes I would have ever told. From teaching me what an counter role is, to actually correcting all my speeches and scolding me for every time I did not attend the meetings on time and did not submit the speeches on time, she taught me the best thing is discipline of time management. Though there is a long way between us, I know there is so much more to learn from her. And when there are few other mentors who have marked an impact without they being my mentor, that's Toastmaster Sai Singh. He has always been helping me out every time I do a blender in one of his meetings, which is always. So this has been an immense and beautiful journey here in Toastmasters and my life. I would like to end by saying, mentors help you during the difficult times. They act like catalysts in your life. They are the Google who give you customized answers for your chaotic life problems. Thank you. And that is.
That was a nice speech. I think Sai today also helped you with the timings for your speech. Moving on with the next speaker, we usually in Toastmaster meeting have two prepared speakers. But the second speaker today took a road which was not explored and he could not reach the venue on time. So before moving on to the next session, let me share you another story. Not story, in fact, a gyan, you can take it. How many of you know, or how many of you are here in Toastmasters think Toastmasters is all about learning, exploring new things, networking, and learning, meeting new people? Your hands high in the air. So, how many of you know there is a road in Toastmaster which is less explored? The fun session. Not exactly. How many of you know that there is a road in Toastmasters which is less explored? Sorry? Leadership. Nice. Table topics was one of the answer. Yes, that road is also one of the road which will be explored next session.
Having a long snack break.
Snacks, I would not say. So that is actually a fun session. Let it be. I have been in Toastmaster for more than 4 years. And in these 4 years, I have made n number of memories apart from my learning in Toastmasters. Be it talking in the Mecon's breakout room for hours together with my buddies, be it standing in the entrance of this building waiting for the rain to stop, be it in the area contest or division contest, networking people, pulling their legs out, pulling their legs off the meeting, be it long drives in Toastmasters, for attending another meeting in another city. It's been n number of memories what we had. So Toastmasters is not just having one way, it is all round. You can have fun, you can learn things, you can meet new people, you can explore new things, you can have a lot more than what you think Toastmaster is. So guys, for the guests, register yourself today, come to the meetings, enjoy your life, take a boom from here. And for your members, to explore this more, as our area director said, register for Crescendo and let's have more fun there at the fun nights after the actual conference is done. To moving on with the next explored road, this road is like everyone wants to take it, but everyone also wants to ignore it. That's the table topic session. To take this table topic session, we have a special person with us. He is a DTM, a Distinguished Toastmaster Subramaniam. When I asked him, what is your take on the theme? He told, Being comfortable in uncomfortable moments is the road less explored. We completely agree with this. And whenever we are in a comfort zone, we don't go out of it. So let's go out of our comfort zone. Let's take the uncomfortable zone and be comfortable with that, is what our table topic session host is. So please put your hands together with a thunderous round of applause and welcoming the table topic master of the day, DTM Subramaniam.
Thank you for that powerful introduction, DTM Udanka. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters, both offline and online. Am I audible and visible? Can I get a yes? Thank you. Thank you. Since I was introduced as a person who believes in being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, so this table topic session is also about bringing our members out of their comfort zone and challenge them in uncomfortable situations. In fact, most of us we prepare for giving prepared speeches, and we have a lot of practice, and we know what we are speaking on, especially while delivering a 5 to 7 minute speech. While in table topic session, it's not so. We don't know what topic we'll be speaking on, and that's what brings uncomfortable moments or uncertainty in us, which challenges us to which challenges us out of our comfort zone and face the uncomfortable situation. So with that, every member will be given a topic. Every member who will be interested, of course within a limited time, they'll be given a topic on which you can speak from 1 to 2 minutes, and at 1 minute the timer will show green card. At the end of 1.5 minutes he will show yellow card, and at the end of 2 minutes they will show the red card. So with that, I would like to give my first topic to a person who is known as the funniest person present in our club, who is none other than DTM MU head. Can I have you on screen, sir? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
DTM MU, but the topic for you is, I chose the road less traveled, now I am lost. I chose the road less traveled, now I am lost.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. So I don't know from where you got my journey of road less traveled, and which is that where I fell lost. It is, but you are not off the mark. It has not happened once. I have gone several roads like that in the past, where ultimately I thought that I will be the winner there, or I try and I will go ahead. And at the end, when I learn, I say that everybody has gone behind. It happens in life, but then one thing I learned a lesson, that whether you are lost, whether you are somebody, or everybody has taken over you, or whatever happens, please do not desist from taking that road less traveled, because that is more important in life. There are things which, the maximum learning takes place when you take a road less traveled. What is the difference between a road which is less traveled? The one thing good about life is rewards are directly proportional to the risk taken. And we generally, all of us, are risk averse. We don't want to take risks because everybody wants to take the easy way out. And the problem is that all the best things happening, what are they, the very great inventions, whatever happening around the world, the human development, whatever has taken over, what you are seeing around, has been done by the persons who have taken the road less traveled, and they have been successful. And even if they're not successful, even like if we take even this example of many of the scientists, hundreds and hundreds of times they fail, but ultimately they may succeed.
But even if they don't succeed, but you've got the satisfaction that yes, I have taken the road which is less traveled. So my urge to distinguished Toastmasters, Subramaniam, is please do not hesitate to take the road traveled, less traveled, just because you happen to be the last one and the others have taken over you. So that is what my lesson is, and I would continue to do that in future also, and that's what my principle in my life itself. Back to tabletop master.
Thank you, DTM MU Bhatt, for inspiring us by sharing your personal story. Can we have a round of applause for DTM MU Bhatt? Before announcing the next name, I would like to announce the topic. Great things never came from comfort. Great things never came from comfort. For this topic, I would like to invite Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati.
Great things. Good evening, table topic master, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Great things never come from comfort. Whenever we go through the history of successful men, definitely this sentence is proved beyond doubt. I would like to tell about one of my professors who was an extraordinary surgeon. He was born in a village in a very, very poor family. He had told me about his life journey. When he got a medical college seat in Bangalore Medical College, he didn't have money at all. When he was traveling from his village to Bangalore, he had one old trunk with one or a few clothes. And the bus driver asked him money for his ticket as well as luggage charge. My professor had told, it seems, I don't have money, so I will take this trunk myself, keep it on the bus, and somehow you please do me a favor by not taking money from me. He had explained his difficult, painful experiences, and later we have seen a totally different picture of him, where he was an extraordinary surgeon helping so many poor women in the government hospital. He had helped me in many of my surgeries. He is a great person just because he worked out of his comfort zone. He took risks of facing challenges, facing humiliation, struggling day and night. He could achieve great heights. We do see this in our history time and again. It's proved beyond doubt. I totally agree with this particular statement. Thank you, and back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati, for reminding us that we have to go out of our comfort zone just to achieve anything what we want to achieve. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Arundhati? My next topic is the only real security in life lies in releasing in life's insecurity. The only real security in life lies in releasing in life's insecurity. For this, I would like to call Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa.
Subramaniam, are you listening to me?
Yes, sir, it's feeble, but we can listen.
Can you repeat the topic, what you have given to me once again?
The only real security in life lies in releasing life's insecurity.
I don't think any person on this universe is born with security. Do you all agree with me? We don't know what happens. If somebody asks, sir, how are you? I said, I am all right as I'm not. Because we don't know what happens in the evening or tomorrow, we don't know. So insecurities are always we find when we walk forward. Soon after the graduation, it was an insecurity for me. I don't know what to do. Moreover, it was a very difficult period to find a job at that period for the engineers in insecurity. What to do? Coming from a village, not having enough money to spend here, insecurity. Somehow the God helped me. One man put me into the electronic industry to go there. It is in electronics, but I'm an electrical graduate. I was not knowing anything of resistor, capacitor, or insecurity. If I leave that job, it is a problem for the stomach. Again, insecurity. Again, I took up the courage, studied and worked there. There, there the salary was getting only 250 rupees. That used to come quarterly or this thing. To lead a life in Bangalore was insecurity. What to do? One day we sat in a Kaban Park and thought why we should not start our own. That was a major decision and a well-secured job. We started our industry. My dear friends, to start an industry, money is not absolutely required. You need to have a burning desire in the belly to do any job. You must have a passion. You must have a dedication. Then only you can achieve those things. We started an industry. My dear friends, I want to share with you, each day is insecure for me. When I go to the factory, how to take care of 250 employees, the salary alone comes about to 1 crore 10 lakh per month. Again, insecure. God has helped me. I'm very fine. For all these things, I'm leading a very secure life. Even in my life, I had an ambition of marrying a doctor. My father scolded me, you are a villager, why do you want to scold the doctor in security? So God has fulfilled all my ambitions. I would like to share with you, since he is showing the red one, red is this thing, I want to conclude my topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, for sharing your story. Can we have another round of applause for Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa? Next, the topic is like this. Sometimes all you need is a good friend and a full tank. Sometimes all you need is a good friend and a full tank. For this topic, I would like to invite Toastmaster Gaurav. You are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll be starting again. So the full tank, which I thought is a petrol full tank, or else your belly is full with your plenty of food. So I'll be going with full tank thing, which is the petrol. So recently I bought a new bike. So it was always been my passion to go on long drives, ride my bike and go long drives, because that's one kind of peace of mind situation for me. So if something is bothering me, if I'm too much pressured with work, I'll always take my bike, go for a short ride, and or else the other one is I talk to a friend. So I have one friend called Sriram, who is who's been my close friend from past 8 or 9 years. I know him from school time. So any situation, anything I want to talk to, I'll always call him up, and he's always been there for me. And there's always been times that even he joins me for a ride. I'm someone who doesn't like to carry a pavilion when I'm riding, but when it comes to him, I always ready to take him for a ride. So any situation, always been a great friend. So any problem, always go for a friend, or always take your bike and go for a ride, because that's how your mind will be increased. Thank you, and back to the.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav, for that response. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Gaurav? My next topic is one who takes the road less traveled earns the rewards most missed. One who takes that road less traveled earns the rewards most missed. For this, I would like to invite Toastmaster Lalana.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Can you please repeat the topic?
One who takes the road less traveled earns the rewards most missed.
Yes, I completely agree with this topic. I am reminded of my trip to Bhutan some years back, and in our itinerary, we also had a plan to climb to the tiger's nest, which is a very steep climb. And just before that, I had fractured my ankle, and I was not sure if I would be able to make the climb. And till the previous day, I was wondering whether to go for it or just stay back in my hotel room and go around and do some shopping. Then finally, on the D day, I thought, let me give it a try, because somebody said there were some ponies on which you could go up and it would maybe not be so bad. So somehow I thought, okay, let me give it a try, and I did start the climb. That pony was only for some time and it was not very comfortable, and ultimately we had to climb on our own two legs. It was a bit tough, but then the view at the end of the climb was really beautiful, and I was glad that I did not make the decision to stay back and went ahead and reached that place. It was very, very beautiful sight to see. So I completely agree with this topic, and we should not uh, like we should not go back and think that it is not tough. We should give it a try. Maybe we can do it, and sometimes, most of the time, you end up doing it also. So it is always better to take the road less traveled, and there is definitely beautiful rewards at the end of it. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lalana, for sharing that wonderful story. Uh, yeah, this I think this always reminds us not to give up even at a slight difficulty, because sometimes we get to miss some beautiful things of life. Thank you for sharing this wonderful perspective, Toastmaster Lalana. Can we have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Lalana? So before I announce my next topic, I would like to invite Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, the topic for you is: we travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us. We travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. Whatever might be the problem in life, if you want to escape from the problem will come back to us manifold. Unless we plan to face the problem head on, nothing is going to work. Way back in the year 1990, I failed in my business, came to the street. I had only 500 rupees in my pocket. Everyone started criticizing me because before 1990, I had a very good job, well-paying job. I quit and jumped into business, only to come to the street. That was my position. I faced the problem. One of my friends came to my rescue. I rebuilt, and it did not stop there also. 1995, I again failed. Again at 2000, I failed. 2003, I rebuilt again my finance business, getting into finance, so that my finance could become very stronger and stronger. today, not today, 2018, I jumped to estate planning. I started automobile, from there to electrical engineering, though I am not an engineering graduate, from there to finance, finance to estate planning. All are challenging life. Unless we face the life head on, we cannot win. Thank you, and back to you, table topic master of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, for sharing such a wonderful thought. Do we have time for two more topics?
Yes, sir. So you can go with the two topics.
Okay. Okay, thank you. With that, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sai Snehal for the next topic. Toastmaster Sai Snehal, the topic for you is it feels good to be lost in the right direction. It feels good to be lost in the right direction. Over to you, Toastmaster Sai Snehal.
Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. It feels good to be lost in the right direction. This takes me to a story, or rather an experience that I once faced. It was my very first time running for a marathon, and I had taken up the challenge to run for a 10K marathon. A person who had never ran 100 meters in life upfront took up the 10K marathon. I was extremely excited for this, but although I knew I couldn't make it till the end, at least by running. On the day of marathon, I started off from home at 5:30 a.m. and I was slowly going towards the venue. As I was getting closer, my heartbeat started to rise as I was getting closer. It felt something that maybe I should just take the bag and go home for the goodies at least that they would give. But something in me was telling me it's okay even if you finish the line in the last, but you need to finish it because you've just taken it up. Don't quit before even it starts. I took up that marathon, I went for it. I started off from the right behind. The last person to cross the starting point was me. Because I was scared where I would be embarrassed by all these seasoned runners. I didn't want to be embarrassed because that was the very first time I was running. So I started off in the last, and as the race kept going on, I realized I was not exactly last, but I kept on going forward. That day, it made me aware that you may start late sometimes, but life has its own way of teaching you that you don't belong in the last. If you feel you're last in something, don't hesitate or fail from trying it. Give it your best shot. Who knows what may happen. Thank you, and back to the table problem.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Snehal, for sharing your personal story. With that, can we have an applause for Toastmaster Sai Snehal? I would like to invite one of the guests for attempting the next topic. Can we have either Sharavati or Parama or Shankar, one of you? Your name? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Your name?
My name is Sanjana.
Sanjana. Okay. Miss Sanjana, the topic for you is stop worrying about the potholes in the road and enjoy the journey. Stop worrying about the potholes in the road and enjoy the journey.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. I would like to recount one of my personal experiences, which is literally start enjoying the journey and not worry about the potholes. So I stay in Baswangudi, and my office is in C.V. Ramanagar. So there's not at least 3 years ago there was not a direct connection to that place. I had to either change buses or go by cab, which was quite expensive that time. So I decided to ride. So that was the first time I was riding. I bought pleasure scooter, and I used to drive at 7 in the morning, reach office around 7:35, and leave office at around 4:35 and probably come back by 5:30. So I did this for every day for 3 years, and I rode 25,000 kilometers. And I also celebrated that moment because had never ridden in my life. And the best part was riding in the rain. So sometimes I would be the only person riding because I've just put on my jacket. I thought if I stopped, I would be stuck for longer time. I would have more traffic to face. So that's something I really, really miss now because now I go by metro. It has its advantages, but those were literally potholes were there, but it was okay. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, budding Toastmaster Sanjana. With that, I have one last topic. I will keep it open for anyone who is interested, either members or anyone from the guests. So the topic goes like this: to travel is to live. To travel is to live. Anyone who is interested, please welcome.
Not here.
It's not audible. We cannot hear you.
Sir, can you repeat the table topic?
No, we cannot hear you.
She wants to repeat the question, sir.
To travel is to live.
When you go for trips or resorts or somewhere, you enjoy, you forget whatever the tensions that go or with kids or whatever the office. So that's where you live your life. Thank you.
So with that, I hope that all the table topics speakers and the audience members had fun listening to the table topic speakers. And with that, I would like to sign off as your table topics master for today's meeting. And with that, back to you, DTM Udanka.
Thank you, DTM Subramaniam, to have the dots connected and have a smooth flow of this session. Before we move on to the next session, as one of our member told, snacks is also a part of Toastmasters meeting. Let's have a 10 minutes networking breaks while we enjoy the snacks. Let's all assemble back at 8:10. I'm sorry. I hope all the online audience are back in front of the screen. I request everyone to turn on their videos, indicating us to start the meeting. Great. Moving on to the final session, connecting the second dot to third dot. We have a general evaluator who has been a DTM for decades now. When I asked him his take on the team, he said, the road less explored is obviously more risky route, which only bold people take. And I'm pretty sure he was one of the bold people to take that unexplored road. Please put your hands together and with that thunderous round of applause in welcoming the general evaluator for the evening, distinguished Toastmaster M.U. Bhatt.
Thank you, Mr. DTM Udanka, for that kind introduction. Let me, what the benefit of our guests, general evaluation is the most important part of a Toastmasters meeting, where we assess or evaluate everything that has gone from the meeting from the word go, from the beginning to the end, and we just analyze what went right so that we can continue to do so. And some areas where we can improve ourselves so that we can get better and better day by day. So let me get straight into the general evaluation mode. Our meeting is expected to start at 6:30. Today it started at 6:50. Actually, that is about 20 minutes late. Only one thing, for the major thing which I want to bring to notice is, see, today about 18 or 19 of us were there together online, and 18 into 20 is 360 minutes. 6 banners or women or whatever we call it. So 6 hours lost is a big thing for all of us, everybody waiting for that. And just because we were waiting for one person, I think that we should try to avoid. In fact, in another club, what I'm connected with the NITK Beehive Toastmasters, 1 minute before the meeting, they start a Google clock, 60 seconds, 59, 58, 57. And when we come 0, the Sergeant at Arms simply comes to the stage and starts. Good evening. Whether anybody is there or not. You know, that kind probably brings a certain amount of discipline. I know we have got some challenges here because we have got a hybrid meeting. The adjustment here and there and online and offline itself is a big challenge. So that may create some problems for starting. But today's was not because of our arrangement fault. It is because of one particular individual probably waiting for that person. At least let us let the message go that such things, let it not repeat. Let it go. Let's not wait for. Let's not start meeting unduly late, so that we, there should be some urgent sense of urgency for the meeting. Otherwise, we had a wonderful meeting. There was a brief business session by the president, and Toastmaster Bhavani told about the upcoming district conference 121. We are having this conference, in fact, after 2 years. After the corona, I think we are going to have. And those who have not attended the conference, you know, it's always happens in a 5-star setting. And it's something, an amazing time, a lot of keynote speeches, some contests, fun time, some humor, some drama. So everything, you know, it's like 2 days, it's something really good to happen. So as suggested by, requested by Bonnie, let's try to attend it in large numbers. This is what I can say. I think it earns a point for a Hall of Fame also, I think. I think that how many points, how many percent? 6. That is a maximum 2 points we can get. 6 is not a good thing for us. I think we will definitely make it. So that's okay, good thing. So and next week we'll have an education session by Usha Iyengar, because I know her. She's an educationist, she's a teacher. So hopefully it's going to be some value, definitely she's going to give to our future. Then the main meeting just started with our firebrand Sergeant at Arms Shiva Prasad. You know, I really like the way, you know, you're present behind the lectern, the booming voice you have of that of Amitabh Bachchan. I've become already a fan of yours. The way you started, good evening, and the way you talk, and you brought that beautiful story of Lieutenant Colonel Avila, and about that his sailboat experience, how he went to 23,000 miles around the globe. something, it's a very fascinating and inspiring story, and which gave a straight entry to the most important, the session. He gave pointed that, and let's, what an amazing job done. Let's give a big round of applause to Shiva. President took over. Then request Bhavani again presented the minutes of meeting number 1159. Her minutes were crisp, to the point, yet exhaustive, covered every point. And with that, for that honors done in reading the minutes of meeting, let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Bhavani. The President opened the meeting number our 1160, and there were introduction of guests. One thing, we had 3-4 guests today, and Shankar was very pleasant to see his doctor, I think Dr. Arundhati, and she's one of our star Toastmasters what we have, and it was nice thing to have you here, sir. And as far as your son is concerned, actually he's too young. Actually, we have got a program for young children, but that too 10 to 16. There's called a Gavel Club. It is there in JP Nagar we have. Even our NIT also, we are starting one Gavel Club of our own. Our Lalana Murthy is coordinating that, and you can probably put, but not now again, not third standard, maybe fifth standard onwards would be the right time to think. You can explore that. And then coming to the president, as usual, our president Ankita, she brings that kind of dignity and that aura of a president with a smile, with the looks, and wonderful speech. Every time she comes behind lecture or in front of mic, what she did, she came online today. She adds a lot of value. She goes on a personal, reminiscence. How she took a road less traveled by attending one international, meeting online. I had a similar experience about many years back when I went to US. So I attended a breakfast meeting in Indianapolis at 7 o'clock. It was a different culture, different setting, different learning for me. Everybody was there. Everybody had taken their breakfast and eating, and the eating was going on, and meeting was going on. It was a different kind of experience for me. So like that, you can learn to different cultures, different systems. Great tip. I think her introduction to the Master of Ceremony also very, very apt and accurate. Wonderful job done. Let's give a round of applause to Ankita for that wonderful job done. Master of Ceremony, distinguished Toastmaster Udankar took over. I will come to you later, sir. Let's get to the prepared speech session. There was only one speech today. It was a level 2 project 3. It was delivered by Toastmaster Vaishnavi, evaluated by Lalana Murthy. Can I have your evaluation?
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and Toastmaster Vaishnavi in particular. Toastmaster Vaishnavi, congratulations on delivering an engaging speech and completing your third speech in level 2. I'll be evaluating your speech on what went well, what could have been better, and an overall summary. As per the guidelines, this speech is about sharing some aspect of your experience as a protege. I think she was successful in fulfilling this by speaking about her hatred for the Sanskrit subject and how she overcame this with the help of a teacher, Mr. Narsimaya, who mentored her by building her skills and to meet her goals. Toastmaster Vaishnavi also shared her experience of mentoring in Toastmasters. She has found a mentor in Toastmaster Ankita, who has encouraged her to pursue her journey in Toastmasters. I also liked the concluding quote which she used in her speech: mentors are catalysts in our lives. I completely agree with this. Coming to what could have been better, I felt you could have probably elaborated a little more about the feedback and the suggestions and the mentoring you have received in Toastmasters, and how you were adaptable to receiving this feedback and how it has helped you reach your goals from these mentors in Toastmasters. Maybe you could have given a specific example, maybe a particular speech where you got stuck or how she helped you or any other example. So that would have reinforced how mentors influence us in our lives. To conclude, Toastmaster Vaishnavi, you did convey the impact and importance of having a mentor. I remember evaluating your second speech. I think it was one of your earliest speeches in Toastmasters, and it was a physical meeting as well. It was a second physical meeting in Macon. I should say you have definitely come a long way since then. This is the magic of Toastmasters. So looking forward to your next speech, Toastmaster Vaishnavi, and back to you, General Evaluator, DTM MU Bhatt.
Thank you, Narana, for that wonderful evaluation. Each time you come behind your evaluation, I really fascinated the way, the cut and dry, the wonderful style of yours. Because it was virtually a textbook kind of evaluation where you told about what really went well with the speech, some areas of improvement, particularly the one area what you told about, I also felt so that you could have told a bit more about one particular experience where you learned what the mentor play, how the as a protege, what you learned from a particular mentor. The one story would have been added value to that. But otherwise, your evaluation, of course, I can't find any suggestion. The perfect evaluation I can find. Congratulations on that. And as far as Vaishnavi is concerned, you have a truly, truly booming voice. I really love it. It's a wonderful voice of yours. Your smile, your body language, you are very comfortable behind lectern, which I like very much. So only thing is, as our evaluator told, as a protege, what is your more experience with one or two anecdotes would have definitely added value. But that doesn't prevent from sharing it in future speeches also. But all the way, and congratulations, and take up your next speech as early as possible. Let's give a good round of applause for both the evaluator and the speaker. That with that, we came to the table topic session. I think Sergeant Tam says you have sent ballots. So ballots have already been forwarded, so you can write your anyway, there is only one speech, so best speaker and best evaluator are already decided. So only role takers and table topic speakers, only you can fill it and send it. Probably you can take, if nobody has filled it, you can take 15 seconds of your time, fill it. Or you hope you would have already covered it. And before I proceed, only one question I forgot to ask Lavana. You have received project guidelines and evaluation guidelines from.
Yes, sir, I have received it.
Because I know it is not really required, because it is we have evaluated the project so many times, so everybody knows about that. But even then, as a formality, it is your duty to give to the UP education, because every project is specific to a path, and the evaluator is not privy to that path. You will not be able to open from your Toastmasters your speech. You cannot download. So it is necessary that a speaker forward the speech to it. You have done it job, great job. So let's come to the next session, table topic session, done wonderfully by distinguished Toastmaster Subramaniam. Yes, so one thing, sir, congratulations on continuing. You got that creative kind of table topic session what you did today. The same topic virtually about the road less traveled. You somehow twisted some point here, some here, there, and all that, and try to create a new topic for every speaker in a creative manner. I think I should congratulate you on that. And because it has affected, one thing good about what I liked was we heard some very heartwarming and inspiring stories. Some of the stories which I really loved, what Vijay Upendra shared with the Sai Snail when he spoke from his heart, that heartwarming stories when he tells, it really touches your heart. That are the things which we learn in table topics. Why I come to week after week to Toastmasters is because one is from the speeches, another is table topic. Table topic speeches, what happens is you'll get the different perspective of the individual, the different way of looking at things. So even with the same topic, with some twisted here and there and all that, we got different approaches to the same topic, which I really liked. Congratulations on that. if I were to tell you a couple of suggestions, at some places I felt that it was not very much audible. That's why the speaker sometimes had to ask you to repeat the question. PowerPoint, the slide presentation would have been better so that we can read it and then apply our mind and articulate our thought. That's one thing I felt. Second thing is a table topic session. You started with the MU Bhatt, who was the wrong person to start first of all. I was the general, just jokingly I'm telling you, not because you should not ask me. You can definitely ask me. There's no problem on that. The problem is, first I would have started first with Pavani, second with Mukesh. They are the only two persons who had not taken any roles today. We have an unwritten law in our club meetings that a member, paying member, cannot return home without giving a speech beyond the lecture. So today, we are, unfortunately, I think we could let down Pavani and Mukesh. Probably I would have appreciated if you had taken them first before asking to me or Upendra or Sai Snehal. That's the only thing I could feel about you. But wonderful session, wonderful topics, good responses for that. Let's give congratulations, a good round of applause to Subramanian. Now let us listen to the various role takers. Let's start with our parliamentary procedure evaluator, Gaurav. We can have your.
Good evening once again. So none of the speakers spoke about sex, religion, or politics, and most of the members had switched on their cameras, but in between they were switching it off. So I request all the members to please switch on your cameras because that's the only way we can see as you're not present in the offline mode. And all the members had kept their phone on silent and there was no disturbance in the offline mode. And everyone left the meeting during the applause, so there was no disturbance there as well. It was a flawless meeting. There was no disturbances, no hiccups. So that's it. And thanks to the APM.
Thank you, Gaurav, for that very good report. Your one thing I liked about your the way when you explained the earlier session, even now also, your gestures were you are very comfortable band director. Your eye contact was all over you. Make out wonderfully or come out very well. Only one suggestion I still have got to you, which I've been telling you quite some time. You can still work on your voice clarity because many times I find, particularly for me, it's a handicap because I'm hard of hearing. Well, let me share it with you. So many times I do lip reading. So you don't give me that opportunity because you speak with the lips closed. If you observe it. So I would have wished you could have been more opening your lips around. That will give that more clarity to speech. That's what I felt. Because I know you from the beginning, and you are an amazing postmaster. Your views, your favorite topic responses, everything I simply love. And if you work a bit more on your voice, probably that will take you a different level. That's the only thing I felt. But let's give a big round of applause to Gaurav for the amazing job. Now let's listen to our timer Sai Snehal. Can I have your report, sir?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Here goes the timer report for today. The meeting commenced at 6:45 p.m. and the business session was for a brief 5 minutes. Next, we had the Sergeant at Arms address by Toastmaster Shiva, which went for 4 minutes. Next up, we had the President's address by Toastmaster Ankita, which was for 7 minutes and 30 seconds. The introduction of the Toastmasters of the evening was for 25 seconds, and the report of the previous meeting by Toastmaster Bhavani was for 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Coming to the prepared speeches for today, we had one speaker, Toastmaster Vaishnavi, whose speech was for 7 minutes and 30 seconds, evaluated by Toastmaster Lalana, and the evaluation was for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Next session, we had table topic session by DTM Subramaniam, where the total session was for 20 minutes. We had about 9 speakers, and here goes the individual time limit of each of the speakers. DTM MU Bhatt, 2 minutes 15 seconds. Toastmaster Dr. Arundhati, 2 minutes 5 seconds. Toastmaster Veerabhadra Bhatt, 2 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Gaurav, 1 minute 45 seconds. Toastmaster Lalana, 1 minute 45 seconds. Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, 1 minute 50 seconds. Toastmaster Sai Snehal, 2 minutes. Guest Sanjana, 1 minute 30 seconds. And Toastmaster Mamata, 30 seconds. And coming to the general evaluation, it has been for 14 minutes and 30 seconds so far. Thank you and bye.
Thank you, Sai Snail, for that accurate timekeeping. One thing we can always, for any role, he is the person, anything he fits it, nobody put in, and he does a wonderful job there, very accurate, and is creative. Even when he explained about that importance of timer as a this thing less taken, very creative way of introduction. Each time he comes up with that. Congratulations on that. I think we should give another round of applause to Sai Snail for that. Let's listen to our art editor, Shiv Prasad. Yes.
Once again, a very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and guests. First of all, I'd like to commend all our speakers today. You haven't given me much to write here. The Sergeant at Arms Shiva had a couple of hours. The president was completely flawless. Toastmaster of the day, DTM Udanka, apart from one small toss, nothing. Coming to the first speaker, Vaishnavi, completely flawless. Her evaluator, Toastmaster Lalana, completely flawless. Table topic master, DTM Subramaniam, had a couple of hours. First table topic speaker, DTM MU Bhatt, repeated and a couple of times and used Uno as a crutch. Second speaker, Toastmaster Arundhati, was flawless. Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa was flawless. Toastmaster Gaurav repeated and a couple of times. Toastmaster Lalana had 1 hour and repeated and. Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, flawless. Toastmaster Sai Snail was flawless. The guest Sanjana had a couple of hours and Toastmaster Mamata was flawless. The general evaluator so far has had a couple of hours and has repeated a couple of times. Back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Shiva, for that very accurate counter. In fact, let me just share with you the fact that in this club I hold the record of the maximum number of hours. So that's all. I continue to maintain that, but it is between us. But coming to I was having in also I was having the record until Mr. Krishnamurti broke my record. Now he holds the record in the club for the number of So that's how it is. But anyway, thank you very much for that. I'm trying. One of these days I will definitely reduce my number of hours. I'm only 74, 75-year-old. One of these days I'll definitely overcome that all these hearts and lumps and give a real powerful speech. I can assure you. Congratulations. Let's give a big round of applause. Last role taker is our grammarian Vijay Upendra. Can I have your evaluation?
Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. Today's speakers entirely fantastic. It was really a challenging role for me to find out not so good usage. That's the problem today. Everyone was extremely fine. See, as far as the good usage are concerned, circumnavigate, wonderful fraternity, comprehensive manner, guide for life, process of learnings, not my cup of tea, curiosity to learn, desist from taking road, rewards are proportional to risk taken, burning desire in belly, fascinating and inspiring. Single, not so good usage is only one. Single of friend could be a friend of mine. Word of the day, stray, was not used by any of us. Please take a note of it. Thank you, and back to you, General.
Thank you, Vijay Upendra. As usual, you are a grammarian par excellence. Any job given to you, take a real thorough professional job of it. Congratulations. Let's give a round of applause to Vijay Upendra for his job. I think I'm covered everybody now except our great man, the bridegroom of the day, to distinguished Toastmaster Udanka. One thing, Udanka, I have seen you when you were starting the first, because when I was the president, you were there with me as secretary. So since that day, I've seen you. And the way you are now, after, I find that no, it was going slowly like this and all that. But after your DTM, I find suddenly his graph has gone up in a very big way. So that the level of comfort, that why I could see the way you stood here, the stance, the way you stood here, that your voice showed that confidence, your voice was powerful, your gestures were very normal, suggested, very appropriate, and it showed confidence. The stance itself showed. That means you are definitely arrived as a Toastmaster. That's how I can feel. All it happened because you have been giving speeches after speeches at many places, not in this club, several clubs. For the benefit of our guests and our members, as our distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakar always used to say, just like a pilot's efficiency or his pilot's license depends on the what is called the number of flying hours. How many they are supposed to have minimum 2,000 flying hours, it takes over a jet plane or that kind of thing. Similarly, success as a Toastmaster depends on what we call as a lectern hours. How many hours or how many minutes you are behind the lectern. That decides how successful you are going to be. And he has been taking initiative in giving speeches after teacher, not in our club, in any club, in the area, division, district levels also, taking up so many roles. And that has reflected on what I'm seeing today. As you have really improved a lot. I still congratulations on that. I really liked it. Without notes, I think you're not even notes. You're like an extempore. And another thing I liked about this was the way you creatively connected the Toastmasters to that. That is one of the major roles of which I tell everybody to see that. When the theme is, whatever theme is there, instead of just telling in some clubs, some people do that. First you talk everything about whatever you want to speak on the road less traveled. So then you will say that, okay, now let me tell about the Toastmasters movement. It becomes a bit drab, but you creatively connected. How Ralph Fitzmaurice took the road less traveled and how we made us take the road less traveled. Beautifully connected, very nicely done. So I don't have any specific suggestions, except that probably your introduction could have been a bit more explaining. It was very brief. You are only asked the individual speakers' views on that road less travel, but their background and what their accomplishments are there. And what I always feel Master of Ceremony's major role is to make the speaker, feel so much enthusiastic to get up from the seat and run away and start giving speech. That happens when you give that kind of support and elevating to such a position and give that kind of applause. Let's go around. Welcome the speaker of the day. That will give that enthusiasm. The speaker will be enthused. There's only one thing I felt we could have still worked on, but otherwise, an amazing Master of Ceremony. I don't have any other suggestion to give. Let's say give a resounding round of applause for our distinguished Toastmaster. I'm through with anything I've told, sir. I think I've covered everything. I think one more point I forgot to tell about one point about our Vaishnavi. When you end your speech, to me it appeared that you are in a hurry to go somehow. It happens for many people because somehow you tell that, okay, yes, I've finished my speech, so I feel that always you should exit in style. Just as you come in style, any club, what happens really is success of the meeting. The Master of Ceremony sets the stage for the speaker, raising into the high skies, and then everybody claps, and you come all the way very majestically with confidence, and then come and start. At the end, you wait for the Toastmaster to come here to take Mr. Toastmaster. That kind of style, it adds a different style to the stage. Because why I'm telling you this specifically was because you are amazing Toastmaster in the making. The booming voice of what is real an asset is going to be there. It's like suddenly came to my mind, so I'm suggesting it. But otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, I had an amazing time today. Wonderful, particularly in the table topic session, I learned Vijay Upendra, Sai Snails, the reactions and all. Very nice. Speech also was great. Everything went off so well. I enjoyed it. I'm so sure most of you enjoyed it equally well. With that, back to distinguished Toastmaster Vedanta.
We have come to the conclusion of the meeting. To conclude, I would give the charge back to the president. Before I conclude, I would like to say one last thing. Members and guests, Toastmaster is more than what you think, less than what you experience. And you have very bright days ahead here. This is your Udamka Arun Jain DTM signing off. Back to the president.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Udanka. I'm sorry I won't be able to keep my video turned on today. Please excuse me for that. It was truly an amazing meeting. I think each one of us has put our best foot forward in delivering speeches and whatever respective roles we had taken up. And that's the speciality of Mekong Communication Club. I suppose that every single person who comes here and takes up a role, make sure that they do complete justice to it. So kudos to all the role takers and the speakers for the day. Thank you for making this meeting so wholesome and fruitful for everyone present here. As a token of appreciation for the role takers and speakers today, I would request members present offline and online to please provide your valuable feedback on Basecamp. This can go a step ahead in motivating all the members to frequently take up roles in our meeting. Also, please drop a message once you've given feedback on Basecamp, because Basecamp doesn't notify members on its own. Tomorrow, by end of the day, there will be a YouTube link uploaded on your WhatsApp groups, which will be a recording of today's entire meeting. So anyone who would like to go back and look at themselves speak or take evaluation notes from their respective evaluators, you can use that link, and also do share it with your friends and family, so that our reach as a club can really, go even more ahead, and we can create that footprint, throughout in different places. So now coming to the most awaited part of the meeting, that is the results. I have them with me, just 1 minute. So since we had only one speaker and one evaluator, we will not be having winners for best speaker and best evaluator. So starting off with the best role taker in the TAPG, we have Toastmaster Sai Snehal, who aced it as a timer for the day. Congratulations, Toastmaster Sai, on bagging the best TAPG role taker award. The best role taker in the major role taker category, that is the MC, TTM, and the GE, goes to our very seasoned, distinguished Toastmaster MU Bhatt for that very, very comprehensive and insightful evaluation that he provided. Can I please request Sai Snehal to hand over the ribbons as I call out the awards, please? Maybe we can have one for, someone can hand it over to you, and for best MTG also. We don't have the ribbons, but we can just take a picture. So that was for the best TAPG role taker, and for the best MTG, we have DTM MU Bhatt. Sir, could you please come up and accept your award? And now for the best table topic speaker, this goes to Toastmaster Lalana ma'am. Congratulations, Toastmaster Lalana, for bagging the best table topic speaker award. And thank you, Sai, for handing over the ribbons. We will now, all of us will rise for the national anthem before we close the meeting.
भारत भाग्य विधाता जय